97.9 The Beat, DFW's hip hop station with Vita Loca in the morning. And this morning, this is how we do it.
Hey! This is how we do it.
Showing out like that.
Montell Williams.
She just Williams me.
It's Montell Jordan.
How many times does that happen?
How often?
It happens a lot.
I'm sorry, Montell. Okay, so Montell, can you please tell us, what are you doing right now?
I am in Atlanta, Georgia, married still,
How many years?
daddying. I've been married for 24 years.
Yes.
To the same woman.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Won't he do it?
Tell these brothers out
Beautiful.
here how you can even make that possible. What advice would you give to someone that is in a marriage right now wondering how did we do it?
Well, I think the challenge is a lot of marriages, people go into marriage with an exit strategy rather than having an eternal strategy. And so the idea is you want to go in knowing, I want to go in knowing how I can keep sweat this thing, how I make it last forever, as opposed to, how I can be gone if it doesn't work out. And so if you going in thinking, if it doesn't work out, then I'll do this. If this doesn't happen, then if there's an if in it, then you're probably going to use that if. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we say, if divorce is an option, then you got too many options. So we went in basically to this marriage knowing we were going to be in it forever.
Wow, that's awesome to hear. That's
Yeah.
awesome to hear.
And especially because of who I was in the music business back in the day, it's just...
Clarify that.
What you mean? What you mean?
Who
Who
what?
was you?
I'm-
You had hits. You was the man.
No, I'm saying, I had hits, but I was grimy, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an R&B, I was married, but people in the music business and people my fans, they didn't know I was not married. So, literally, my life was... I was not a good married dude.
All right, right.
Yeah.
You wasn't good material.
I wasn't a good
for
husband.
marriage. You wasn't a good husband.
Then.
Because you was
Exactly.
wrapped up in a lifestyle.
Then,
And you were younger.
I was dumb.
Living fast.
I was unfaithful. I was a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But I say God kind of got a hold of me and did some things for me and did some things to heal my wife's heart. That 20-something years later we can do ministry together. And our story basically is a story of redemption of how God can transform anybody's life.
Right.
And we're pushing up on 25 years because He was good and faithful when I wasn't.
Now, you say you and your wife are ministering right now, so you are a minister?
I'm an ordained pastor in Atlanta, Georgia.
What happened? Like, were you laying down in the bed? What happened when you said, okay, this is the direction I'm going with my life?
Yeah, well, it was not like this one moment when I just said, oh, and then Jesus showed up for me. It wasn't that. It was like a lifetime of knowing, that God had something bigger for me. And I just felt like I was always running from it to do it my way. I wanted to have success my way. But the thing was, I was having success, but I didn't have any significance. I tell you, if there was one key moment, it was the day I got killed on Twitter. All right? Literally. Sometimes people get killed on Twitter.
Right.
Some people did a fake whatever site or CNN thing or whatever, and I got killed on Twitter. And it basically said I was playing football in the park with my son at the time, and I didn't have my phone with me. It was in the car. And so during the hour that I was out in the park, I got killed on Twitter. And when I got back to my phone is blown up. My wife is calling. My kids are calling. And I got this Twitter feed that's crazy long, and it's saying, R&B singer, This Is How We Do It, dies in an Atlanta condo. God, it does This Is How We Do It, dies. Singer of This Is How We Do It, dies. And I'm literally reading that my life of all these years, everything I poured into music amounts to the God that did This Is How We Do It, dies. And I was like, no, I can't live life like that. It's not living, that's existing. Right? And so I heard of this word called an ellipsis, which is that little ... like this right here.
Yeah.
Today's recall, ... what comes after that. And so I wanted to then live my life for what comes after the ellipsis. God had done This Is How We Do It ... But goes on to see 1 million people marriages saved, or goes on to do this, goes on to do that.
And
And
so
so
what came after the dot.
I wanted to be significant over being successful by the world's terms.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? So you have a book out now.
Yep.
What is the book?
My wife and I co-authored a book. It's called This Is How We Do It. But I mean, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
This is how we do it, making your marriage a masterpiece. And it's basically 16 chapters of her story, my story, and God's truth, just kind of all lining everything up to anybody that wants to be married one day or that is married, struggling in marriage, wherever you are, there's something for you to be able to navigate through your marriage. Because we know we're going to be married together happily, forever, fly, sexy, old, all of that, and people need to see that because they're seeing different things and different takes on marriage, and they don't see people that's loving being married, enjoying it, still sexy, still having intimate time, still enjoying their families. People don't see that, and if they don't see it, they don't know that it exists, and it does exist.
What's a tip that you can give for a couple, how you keep it spicy? Like how you keep, what's something you and your wife do to keep it, hot?
It. Hot.
What's something you do?
I would say variety is fun, just from a standpoint of not just getting routine, and there's some things in routine that are fun, but just from the standpoint of making sure that you always stay on top of your game. You want to stay healthy. You want to stay in a place of enjoying your spouse. I love a good steak. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean because I have a steak I don't want it. Because I have steak, I find different places to prepare it, different ways, to prepare it.
Different places to eat it at.
Come on now, you preaching over there in the corner. Yes, sir.
I think you have some steak between your teeth.
Listen to that too. I was saving that for later. I was married. I can talk like that.
Oh,
So yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So where can people purchase this book at?
MontellandKristen.com. Montell has 2 L's in it. The and is spelled out A-N-D, and my wife has 2 I's, K-R-I-S-T-I-N. MontellandKristen.com.
Nice.
The book is there. We got also a, what is it? What'd you say, honey? She said something in my ear. There's also a workbook and a DVD curriculum, like for small groups. If you want to get together with a bunch of couples and just take an 8-week process of going through the book and making your marriage better, it's like real talk. It's good stuff,
Okay. And go ahead.
Do you have is there any advice there for people that aren't in relationships? Like, I'm young and I'm single, and I see every day there are a lot of young people my age that are shacking up, and I'm like, man, y'all out here putting rings on everybody, and I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, are you giving any advice for people that
Absolutely.
are ready to settle down, and as far as like what things to look out for and red flags?
I got you. Here's the thing right now. The Bible says that he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains the favor of the Lord. So right there, when it says he that finds a wife, it doesn't say she that finds a husband.
Right.
Right? And so from that standpoint, that's the first piece. He's going to find you. The second thing is you can't find something that isn't hidden. So in other words, if I ask you to find this hat, you don't have to find it because the hat is out there in plain sight.
Right.
You can see everything.
Right.
But if I were to hide it somewhere, you have to actually search for it. And then depending on where you are hidden is where he's going to find you. So if you're hidden in the club, then he'll find you in the club. If you are hidden in God, then in order to find you, if you're in the club or if you're in God, wherever you're hidden, that's where I have to find you. So if I want to find you in the club, I have to go to the club to find you.
Yeah.
If I want to find you and you're hidden in the church somewhere, I have to go to God to be able to find you there.
Hence why people say you want to go to certain places whenever you look for a spouse, because you never know. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, this is all like one big
I just saw
domino
everything
effect.
right
Yeah,
there.
you just really put things in perspective for me.
you.
Yeah, because I found my wife on Facebook.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
On the bus.
I bet
going
you
to school.
a lot of people find their spouses on the internet.
Yeah.
That's the new thing now.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
did you meet your wife at?
I met my wife in a club.
Okay.
But we're talking 20-something years ago, and from that standpoint, even when I saw her there, I saw her before she saw me.
Of
So I
course,
still
Montell, you're 7
found
feet
her.
tall.
Yeah, well, my
Everybody's
peripheral
small.
was strong. My peripheral was strong. Yeah, but I do believe that I saw her. She didn't see me for the first time until the second time that we met.
Okay.
The first time she was all shade, but
Right.
she made me work. So.
All right. And speaking of work, you're here in town working because you're here for the Emmitt Smith golf tournament.
Yes, we're gonna probably swim and hit some golf balls somewhere
yeah,
if we can.
swimming today.
Yes, indeed.
You will
But
be swimming
Emmitt
today.
Smith's fantastic guy. I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan from birth, and to be able to support Emmitt and his foundation, different things that he does for the community and for the world, I'm glad to be a part of that.
Awesome. And we're glad you came through because I really sometimes you wonder where are they now? Have you did an unsung yet?
We did do an unsung.
You did do an unsung?
Yeah, it's one of the best ones. One of the best tested shows that they
That's
aired.
because we
Nice.
like watching you.
Yeah, y'all like to see the tragedies, but sometimes there's a good story that pops out of it.
No, I'm talking about your looks. We
Oh,
just
listen
like
to that
looking
too. Listen.
just
No,
like
I'm not
looking
talking about the unsung. I'm talking.
We just like looking at Montel.
Come on.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we like what you're doing now. Your book again is This Is
This is
How
how we do it.
And
Making your marriage a masterpiece.
Making your marriage a masterpiece. Did you?
No, we're good.
Okay. Well, we thank you for coming through, Montell.
Thank y'all.
Chaotic. We gonna get you a book.
Yeah, I need a book. I'm 9 years in, and they told me that once you make the 10-year mark, you're pretty much good on your marriage. So we've gone through the trials and tribulations, but I'm 9 years in, so I'm gonna read your
Okay,
book.
that's what's
Definitely.
up, man. Yeah, good stuff there. Very good stuff there. And
Congratulations.
congratulations on
To
your
both
9
of
years. Yeah.
Chaotic and Montell.
Yeah.
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 We got
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. Now we done it.
Hashtag
Awesome.
black men don't cheat.
All the time. Just
Amen.
some of the time.